flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Calvadas.
Here.
Mr. Potts.
Here.
Mrs. Pasio. Here. Mr. White.
Here.
Mr. Williams.
Here.
Mr. Beatrice.
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here.
And Mr. Bob.
Here.
Hey, how you doing, boy?
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 4th, 2012. Emailed to the retrospect and the courier post on January 4th, 2012. Approval of minutes, Joyce?
A motion is in order for the approval of minutes of the 6/6 and the 6/11 meetings. As submitted by the clerk.
Motion.
Can I say something about the minute?
Not before you have a motion.
Okay, motion, I'll
I'll
second it.
second it.
Okay. I just want to say one thing. Where it states that that Joyce Pinto stated that these two ordinances should have been adopted at the last council meeting, but someone in the audience questioned whether or not council members were presented to adopt the ordinance. I would just like to clarify that we followed the advice of our solicitor.
Yes, you did. He was wrong.
Well,
What?
he was.
We corrected that.
Well, what he did was he asked a question, and then we referred,
That was okay.
That was not, it was me. I was the one who was wrong.
Yeah, it was Lenny was here.
I was wrong.
oh, okay. you
It
were
was me.
wrong.
It was me who was
Okay.
wrong. And the next day we fixed it. I apologize for that confusion. No problem.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
we like having other people.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, the minutes are approved.
Report.
Yep.
And the report of the construction official for the month of June, total of $8,611 was collected for various permits and COs. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I have the report of the borough clerk for the month of June, a total of $14,527.20 was collected for various yard sale permits, street openings, liquor licenses, and dog and cat licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We had the report of the police department for the month of June. A total of $123.30 was collected for various accident discovery, solicitor reports, and open requests, and fire alarm permits. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I also have the report of the the statistic report for the police department that I guess the captain turned over to me at the last minute. Motor vehicle summonses, 146. Moving, parking, 25. Motor vehicle crashes, 25. Arrest, 145. Year-to-date arrests, 821. And hours of overtime, 37. I have the report of the registrar of vital statistics for the month of June. A total of $4,038 was collected for various death copies and marriage copies and one marriage license. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. And the report of the tax collector for the month of June, total of $125,157.85 was collected in taxes, and a total of $65,119.07 was collected in solar rentals and reports.
Have a motion? Second? All those, have a motion and a second to accept the reports. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, and the reports are accepted. Communications, please.
The first communication is a letter from Frank Scaramuzo, thanking Mayor and Council for the graduation gift.
We received the motion.
The second.
Second.
The next is a letter from Jacqueline Weaver informing the borough that the water mains, she's from New Jersey, the water mains will be replaced on Chestnut Avenue from Oak Street to Garden Terrace.
We received the motion.
Second.
Oh,
Nick,
sorry.
Nick brought a certificate of participation that, of recognition and thanks to the Borough of Runnymede for the chipping in for the fireworks.
It will be received.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Accept communications. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Communications are accepted. I do this with you, George.
Public hearing?
Yeah, we get down to a public hearing. I do.
Yeah.
We now have a public hearing for revision of the CDBG funding. If you have any comments on this revision of these, revisions, only please step up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Mayor, it seems no one wishing to speak. I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
The ayes have it, and the public portion is closed.
At this point, Mayor, I'd like to move for adoption of resolution 1282, authorizing the Borough of Runnymede to adopt the revised grant agreement for year 27, 28, and 31 of CDBG grant monies. Second.
Roll call.
One second. Mrs. Pasio?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
12 ayes, 1 absent.
I move that this resolution is now adopted. Committee reports.
Public safety, Mike's not here.
You gave it. You gave Mike's report.
Oh, that was, we'll leave it that.
Yeah, that was Mike's report.
Oh,
And being a report progress for Mr. Kizilewski.
Okay. Under personnel, I don't know if anybody lives here on Johnson Avenue here, but they sent me a letter with different houses they want to check. I sent and took them to the inspector to do the checking of these homes because they didn't like, some of it being dirty on the outside. Some of them were noisy at night and late at night. And I have nothing to send back to anyone or a phone number because nobody signed it. They have a lot of signatures on it, but I don't know who sent the letter. I did check it, the people did, and I can't interfere with a landlord who rents their property out. They want me to do something with the landlord. Now, there's some things that you just can't get into. We sent letters, but the police part, it's up to them. The people around there, if they're making too much noise late at night, it's up to them to call the police. I can't be there patrolling their houses and their neighborhood. Otherwise, the one, we've been citing this one person whose pool and the house is empty. And he's already has 6 citations already, nobody lives there. So there it's in the hands of the courts. But I just want to let everybody know, if they do have a complaint, even if they leave me a phone number, they don't have to give me a name. Give me something that I can call you back. There's no way I can let people know that we did look into these problems. And I do not interfere with landlords. So that's all I have right now on personal.
I guess I'll go next. I'll leave the financial portion of my report to Richard. I do want to say, I want to thank Richard very much for attending the senior meeting with me last month. We went over the introduced budget with them last month, answered any questions that they had. Surprisingly, there weren't that many because of the job that Rich did explain it. So a lot of thanks Richard. On the library scene, they're getting ready to receive their audit. Information has been given to the person who will audit the books. The Gifted Talent Art Show took place on June the 6th for second and third graders. They have a summer story hour that began the week of our meeting, which is the second Tuesday of the month. And at that particular time, it was just started first day and already is full. They also have a summer reading incentive program for children, and the next book club meeting will be Wednesday, August the 1st. Other than that, that was just about what went on with the library. I need to, excuse me. I need to report that the 4th of July ad book is out. Everybody should have received a copy. Thank you to the Beautification Committee for doing such a great job with that. By the way, while I'm speaking about the Beautification Committee, you know, if you go up and down the pike in some other areas of town, you can see that they're very actively working to make our town more beautiful, as the committee title is. Let me see what else do I have. Oh, the parade will take place tomorrow with the baby parade, starting at 9 o'clock at the Higher Winds building. There's 6 categories that we judge the babies on, excuse me, if they are babies. But in addition to that, we have a bicycle parade for boys and girls. I need to report that Frank Thatcher, who usually helps us out with the Lions Club, is in rehab. He was in a serious motor vehicle accident, so we wish him well. The main parade will take place at 1 p.m. on the pike. Mrs. Balsordo and I have met with the captain as far as the traffic control, et cetera. The fire company is well aware of their responsibility. So we're ready for I believe it's going to be a great parade. I don't think we had a bad one yet, but this one will be a very nice one. So in addition to that, in the ad book, there's a reminder for everyone to bring a non-perishable item to the parade so we can help subsidize the food bank. We've been in touch with the food bank through Mrs. Dunn, who's helped us out tremendously with that. The Beautification Committee is also going to be collecting food, and we hope we have arrangements for them to take it after the parade. If not, other arrangements will be made. Excuse me, Mayor?
They came in to me and picked it up to Jim.
Okay. So in any case, we're looking forward to a great 4th of July, and with that, I'll turn it over to Richard to give us a little bit of the financial.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to introduce the auditors have been here for the past several days.
Talk loud.
Sorry about that. The auditors have been here, wrapping up the financials with us. We hope to have them out of here by the end of the week. That's basically taken up all of our time for the past couple of weeks. The budget, we weren't able to get this meeting. We expect to be calling a special meeting. More than likely, it's going to be the week following that. Both Joyce and I are out of town next week. So while I could have had somebody sub in for me, if we had the approval to go, have the meeting without Joyce and myself might have been a little difficult. So we're going to reach out and see what your availability is. And as soon as we get the notice, we just need the 48 hours for newspaper, and then we'll get with you so we can get our budget adopted. I expect that the tax bills will be out on the street before the August deadline. They will have a grace period for they get 25 days, right, Joyce? So they will have 25 days from the date of receipt of the tax bill to pay the taxes. So we're almost back on track. So that's basically it.
We're not going to be last again this time, are we?
We might be.
Okay.
Roads and property, right?
Pretty much, I'm just going to report that things went really great with Bob at the Veterans Parade. As far as for the road crew, I think the guys really did a good job. And the streets were perfect, and I mean, it was just a big undertaking, all wheel that fast. Paulie, you guys did a great job. Right? Pretty much, we're going to report progress. We're ready for tomorrow again, as far as our part of the parade. And I do want to commend, because I'm very close with the veterans in this town, Bobby knows that, right? And 2 officers, Danny Murray and Bill Santolsky, they donated their pay back to the veterans, and I commend them too. Okay? There's card in the VFW hanging up, just that they did that. So, like I say, I mean, that's where we are, and I just want to report the progress. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Summer recreation, our summer rec program began on Monday. We have so far signed up 125 kids. The program will be Monday through Friday for the entire month of July. It includes athletics, arts, crafts, as well as swimming at the local hotel, currently the Runnymede Inn Suites, which I'd like to thank Babish Patel, the owner, for his continued support of the program. He's always helped this program out for many years. The borough has also partnered with our local school district and the Runnymede Rotary Club to provide free music lessons to any child registered for summer recreation program. This new program is named the Jonathan Interlanti Memorial Summer Music Camp. It's being paid entirely by the Rotary Club in memory of Jonathan, the previous owner of Color Graphics Printing in Runnymede, as well as a well-known and loved musician in our area. We're also looking into extending both programs into August. There's been a lot of interest in doing this, but there is more information that we need to get to our CFO and the counselors, things like that. People really, over the years, I think the summer rec program has been very successful, and there's a need for it in our community. So the committee will get back to this organization and see what we can do. Tonight at dusk is the fireworks display in Barrington that we helped to sponsor. There was a parade at 6:30 starting at Clemensbridge Road and ending at Woodland Elementary School, where the fireworks display will follow. Other than that, I have progress. Thank you.
Engineer, Ed?
Thank you, Mayor. As everybody can see, our road program is finally started this year. We have our contractors working on 2nd and 3rd Avenue on the east side of town. And starting Monday, we'll be starting on West 3rd Avenue from Hurst to Detmar. There's going to be a lot of action going on, and hopefully another 2 weeks we'll read out and we start. A lot of things are starting to come together. Some jobs closed out, or jail cells, or roofs, and other various projects.
And we're paving the summer, so.
That's great. And it'll all be done before the school year. Everything's going to work out good. Now, I'd like to take a minute to thank the Beautification Committee for a great job they did for Memorial Day and for the Veterans Parade. And the Public Works Department did a great job. John Gunn and Fred DeVerde with EMS and Fire, and Captain Daly with the Police Department. Other than that, I report progress.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Katie Medler from Camden County Mosquito Extermination Commission informed me that Beaver Branch Park and the RYAA complex were inspected per my request and treated with granules, and they are scheduled to be checked every 2 to 3 weeks during the mosquito breeding season. If you have any questions regarding mosquito control, you can call 856-566-2945. Yesterday, Keith Knight, myself, and a technician from F&F Exterminating Company visited all the areas that residents saw rodents. The tech will send us his report and a conclusion on what type of control program is recommended. He did, however, assure me that there is no danger to our water if cakes were put into the sewer, because he places them well above the water line. This inspection to find the source is because the Finance Committee agreed to pay $125 to have the exterminator inspect all the areas. Other fees, if any, and his findings will follow, and I will report as soon as it is reported to me. That concludes my report for today.
Thank you, Pat. Administration, Richard, do you have any more to say?
The only thing I'd like to say is I'd like to commend the emergency services today. We had a fire on the 500 block of Clapper Court, and they got in there quick, had a good knockdown, and they performed extremely well in some terrible conditions out there today, so I just wanted to give them a good job.
Yeah, it was next door to this road, right? Yeah, and do you know if the house was, are they, when is the house
The
destroyed?
the house is basically destroyed.
Thank you, Richard. Solicitor's report?
We were asked to do two things. One was to review the ordinance that, the resolution, excuse me, that's on the agenda tonight with regard to releasing the performance bond and replacing it in essence with the maintenance bond. And we find all that in order after having reviewed the engineer's reports. And the second thing we were asked to do was to prepare a revised or amended ordinance with regard to regulating livestock, and that's part of your agenda.
First is, if you recall last month when you were here, we agreed to answer Ms. Luke's letter. Okay, well, the committee did meet, and at this point, we would like our solicitor to respond to them, saying that it's the feeling of the committee that we need to get some legal understanding of some of the points that you brought out.
So we're going to advise them that we're still researching.
Yes, and we will be requesting some legal help. There's one other thing while we're talking about that. There's an area on West Second Avenue across from the post office, where the Polish deli is. A few years back, there was a young lady who had a facility there for children, and the curb was painted from the corner back to the driveway as a no parking zone, because we felt at that time that it wouldn't be safe for cars to be parked there with children being dropped off on and off. It's my suggestion that we amend the ordinance to allow parking on West Second Avenue on the deli side, which would probably accommodate maybe 6 cars, which would help the business owners. And if we can introduce that tonight, if we could ask that no tickets be issued until we're finalized. Is that permissible?
Is that permission?
Wow.
I mean, we're going to ask the police department not to write the tickets.
You can certainly ask, you can ask the police department that, but
You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to wait two months to finalize this thing when we can allow parking on the Polish deli side? If you know where it's at. You can't park there, but there's no need for not parking there. And the business sure needs some help.
you want me to
You said it was
respond?
West Second, is that what it is?
West Second.
West Second.
Yeah.
Do you want me to respond?
Always stored it, so.
Yeah, do you want to respond?
Yeah, it's real simple. If there is no sign, no matter what the ordinance is, legally, we cannot write a summons. So if you remove the sign, you can still go through your process and remove it legally. But if the sign's not there, an officer cannot write a summons for a violation.
Oh, sign be taken down.
Just take the sign.
The reason why I'm saying it this way, I don't want to take it for granted that it's going to be approved. We have to have public comment on that, and I don't want to choke out residents from giving their opinion about parking or no parking on the side of where the deli is.
Okay, well, if we can cover the sign then with the trash bag covering it and
I have all
allowing people
kinds
to
of eyes
temporarily.
looking at me then.
Well,
Introduce it for first reading? and-
Yeah, that's what I say, but in introducing it, it's fine. But it takes time for it to go, and we could have people parking there next week, helping the businesses.
if you cover it, it's fine. And if you're going out one step further, you should, Mr.
That's almost
Williams,
my situation, right?
yes, on Schubert, it's on Harding and Schubert.
Right.
It's a gentleman that's on the corner of Harding and
Fisher.
Schubert, southwest corner. He has a yellow curb going from Schubert all the way past his driveway. And it's a no parking where it should be a permanent parking.
Right.
And I issued Councilman Kizliski a letter approximately back in March to have this put on the agenda, and it hasn't been put on the agenda yet. So I spoke to Frank today, and basically, if you take down a sign, you cannot write a ticket.
It's,
I understand. Park in front of their houses and pay taxes here.
I understand both points exactly, and I understand what you're trying to do. The only thing I think is, we do a first reading tonight, which I would be for both of these, if you want to add Harding Avenue.
Yeah.
But I don't see us really doing anything until, I mean, we're only talking about 30 days, correct?
Can you go into the special meeting you're having in 2 weeks?
Is that enough time
Unless we
between
have
the
the
first
first
reading?
reading.
It's not enough time.
Unless, no, I mean, there's not enough time. We could do it for the August meeting, no?
Yeah, I mean, 30 days, I know the post office has been there for what, 9 years, 8 to 10 years?
It's been here for a while.
Yeah.
And like I said,
And I think they're successful, and they could use the parking.
And like I said, these people, it's going around,
In Harding?
and on Harding, it's on the left-hand side, it goes all the way around, it affects 3 houses, but they can't even park in front of their house. And what really came about when I was out there the other day with John Dunn, was he remembered that across the street, why the ordinance was issued, was because the guy had an automotive business running out of his house. Well, now the guy, they're not there, and I feel for the residents, because they're paying taxes, and they can't even have company without getting tickets. And I would like that, to add that to Tony's ordinance.
I assume they're 2 different ordinances.
Would they?
I mean, I'm suspecting that the ordinances that we're talking about.
We'd have to amend 2 different
Two
ordinances.
different
Two different things,
Right.
we could do both of them.
Yeah,
this
okay.
evening, but we do them as 2
Yeah,
separate.
all right, okay.
Is there enough room for parking on both sides of the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Paul out there a couple of
Yeah.
times. No, I had Captain Daly out there a couple of times, looking at that.
Then, are you saying if they put a plastic bag over it now, Paul?
Yes, if they put a black plastic bag, that's the same thing as when the state does
At the
when
present
they
time.
do road work. If they, the people cannot see that it's no parking, even though it's a yellow curb, the sign does not say no parking, you cannot legally enforce it.
And that'll almost take care of my problem, because kids are not in
Correct,
school.
same thing.
Kids are not in school right now, so
Exactly.
give us August to get over it.
But Daley, the ordinance, the law is still the law, even if there's a bag over the sign.
No, actually, it's not. If you're temporarily taking away that sign,
Yeah.
they don't know it's there.
Steve?
I would not suggest you take down the sign.
No.
Until you have it. I would not suggest that.
I'm trying.
Especially if I were actually doing that, I would not suggest that.
No, we're not taking it down.
No, he can
No,
go back.
you put it back.
And the issue.
My point was, I didn't want to sit here and get criticized for not allowing the public to speak on an ordinance that's going to change.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I didn't want to do. I've been accused of a lot of things.
It's only first reading, Tony.
Pardon me?
It's only first reading, so we could just.
I understand that, but what I was looking for was relief. Relief. As little as it may seem, it's relief.
Really for the sewer owners.
So,
Then
having
you
said
want
that,
to add,
Well,
you make
the difficulty, not difficulty, if the defense, if the ticket gets written, is that there was no notice that this was in some way a restricted area. So covering the sign while the ordinance remains in place. Now, someone who gets a ticket says, I don't know what that sign says, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to park here. So police officers being practical say, you know what, I'm not gonna write this ticket because they're just gonna show up and they're gonna win, I'm gonna waste a day in court. So they don't write the ticket, cover the sign, no harm, no foul. 22.
the law's still the law.
24 years. Anyway. Look,
It is.
okay. Well, how do we do this? Couple of Mr. President, my issue and your issue.
Well, I would consider just, if you have a first reading at the end of your agenda of another,
Tonight.
if you want to do that, just add that to it.
1207, amended parking ordinance,
1208.
1207, yeah.
1207.
And then
It's 1208.
and
Want to do
1208.
the two separate ordinances? Are they all in the same parking ordinance?
I don't know, that's what they're not.
Well, the first one's going to be to take away the no parking on the west side
West Second.
The second one is going to be what, permit parking?
You will change it to permit parking
Right.
from no parking.
Okay?
On Hard
All right.
Rock.
And for the one on West Second, with the exception of, from the radius to 20 feet.
Right.
Because the first 20 feet can't be.
It's a stop sign, right?
If you could, we'd like to have some correspondence with Mr. Rizzuto.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you. Engineers report.
Thank you. Everyone has an excellent written report. As Mr. White has indicated, the road for the handicap project is due to be initiated construction, as well as all the other roadways. We either have had the pre-con already, or it's done the next week and a half, we'll have pre-con for the construction on the whole project. I'm going to skip to the second page, improvements to the various buildings, municipal building group. I'm happy to report that some of the squirrel entrances have been taken care of by the roofer. And we did receive, after working with Mr. White and also Rich, received a quote for putting caps on our roof scuppers, the little boxes out there, because what's happening is the squirrels are getting to the boxes, seeing the PVC, decided to either go through the PVC and chew them up. And so we have a quote, it's about $4,000. That'll be a change order coming in a special meeting once we have the work done. It's well within the 20% threshold. It's a good price, and I suggest that we don't need any action this evening, so we're aware of it, make sure there's no objection. Also, that we clean all the backgrounds out, that'll help us with all the problems that we're having. So with that, hopefully we're going to have enough Monday taken care of. The additional downstairs, the two ones that we're bringing in the police department have been repaired. So, and then with that work, then we can close out that contract. We kept that contract open with EDA. We did the main roof because we wanted to get some of these other items done that we were made aware of. On the Harry Williams building roof, all work there is complete. If you recall from my report last month, I did make a recommendation with some emergency work for covering and waterproofing the ductwork and HVAC systems. That work has been completed. You're going to see a resolution of the special meeting in 2 weeks where we're going to acknowledge the emergency and pass the resolution for the change order for that work, which was $7,600 to do the work. The good thing is we're able to get the contractor who was just wrapping up the work for Reese on the flashes and everything else to do that and did it very quickly. And I've not heard of any other leaks yet. But even with some of the larger rainstorms, but again, I believe the process we're going down is we keep fixing the little things so we didn't have to do a whole re-roof. And I know that the incidence of leaks have gone down significantly, except for the area of the HVAC, which actually there's only 2 occurrences in 6 months, but hopefully this will take care of that as well. Jail cell floor is complete. We're at the punch list stage, so hopefully that project will be closed out within the next month. On the 2 projects that we're working to close out, the DOT phase 2 of the Blackbird Flex Streetscape, we have 1 punch list item remaining, and this is for one of the property owners, Dr. Bell, where the irrigation system on the property was damaged. He made the request, and it's for a request to have his irrigation contractor repair it, and then have a contractor reimburse. So we agreed to that request. We're waiting for his irrigation contractor to make the repairs, and then we'll follow up with Bud Concrete to make sure that with Dr. Dell. It's his system. If he wants to fix that way, that's a reason.
As long as it's in line.
Yeah. So that we'll make sure of that, of course. Once that's done, that's the last item. We can close out that project. And then also I did skip over the closeout on the 2011 road program. One item left with Paramount Construction, and this is by Sharon's Eyewear, where there is a lip to his driveway apron. adjacent to his parking lot. We just want to have that ironed out and make sure we move that little, that's the last item to close that project. We're getting it. And this is one of the large ones on page 5, Beaver Branch Park, the soccer fields, and the bathroom facilities and pump station. We did receive bids on both projects. We don't need any action this evening. Hopefully, we'll be able to make a recommendation in 2 weeks once we have time to sit down with Rich and verify and certify the funds are available, and also by that time the solicitor should be able to do his review. I just want to point out, on the soccer field, we actually had a good number of bids. It was a little under 10. The bids came in, the lowest bidder came in from Command-Com at $241,580. Our estimate, now this estimate is based on our design drawings, not based on the Green Acres application, which has been changed. Both the soccer fields and the bathrooms, the scope has been changed from the original Green Acres application based on review of all the committees and also review of the fire department, police department, and public works. So our estimate was $179,000 and came in at $241,000. In looking at the bids, I would have to say our estimate was incorrect in terms of one line item where I think we underestimated the cost of the irrigation well. We put in a line item of $15,000 based on the requirements that we put in our specification for the type of sprinkler heads that need to shoot across the soccer fields. It should have been closer to $60,000 in terms of our estimate. With that, I believe that Command-Com's bid is in line with what the cost should be. Again, there's a pressure requirement for these irrigations. You have to have 70 pounds per square inch at the head, and that is a much beefier well pump motor than the $15,000 that we estimated. So I believe we're going to make actually the letters in your packet this evening, and hopefully we can act on that once we know we have funds. The second one was for the bathroom facilities and pump station. The low bid was received from General Construction in the amount of $217,700. Our estimate was $200,000. I believe that bid is in line. I know County Road Construction, they bid a couple of projects, one in Clementon, one in Waterbond, and one for Canby County Library System. So I believe if the funds are available, that we can act on that as well in 2 weeks. I do want to point out to you, to see when you read the letter, the $200,000 is more than we originally had in that Green Acres application that we put in some years ago for $500,000 funding. The main difference in terms of the increase on this one is we went from a steel stud and a stucco building to a split-face block building and also have block walls on the interior. We also added some security features like infrared let's call it the infrared lighting. I'm looking for a technical term, it's not coming to me. And also motion sensing lighting. So that way, if the doors lock open or they lock closed. So they lock closed and the facility's done, or they lock open. So if the lights are on and the police department's riding by, they know someone is in there. And whether they can stand still or not, the infrared is also going to pick up those things. And then obviously we added some conduits and other future things so that when we do field lighting, we have the conduits already in the ground when this is done, so we don't have to dig up the roadway all over again. So hopefully with the funding, we'll be able to make those awards. And if the funding is not in place, then we'll be coming back to you in terms of what do we want to reduce in scope in terms of either do we want to find the funding or do we want to reduce scope, which we might have some ability to do. These two projects are in no way what I would consider Cadillac projects, but they do meet the needs of all the committees that have done the review. I believe that is the conclusion of my report. Unless there's any questions.
Excuse me, Scott, about how we're going to get training in.
Yes, we did meet with the Camden County Open Space Committee. We should be able to, that's one of the funding sources here, where we, I think with 2 years prior staked up on Camp Kennedy open space going to the park? I believe so. If not, this would be, if we're approved, this would be another $25,000.
Well, I was told we probably weren't going to get it because the county was only going to do 20-something. But they changed their mind. They're releasing all the money, so.
That's this year. Next year, they are going to do pretty much half the program, and it's probably going to be every other year type situation, almost very similar to what we're happening with the DOT discretionary road programs. We're getting every year, now it's every other year.
It's important that we continue what we're doing. So long as you continue, you have a better chance of getting money than if you stop, don't do anything. Well,
You haven't missed an application yet? I will not miss it. I will not miss it.
Can I ask,
I was glad to hear that.
how close are we money-wise from what we have left over? Do we know, does anybody know?
That's what we're doing. We had all these projects come in, go to bed with all the different roads.
Because I know the one, when you're talking about the 25,000, we've applied this every year, correct, Ed? Only every year we keep putting the 25, so you think we'll get a 25 again?
If the auditor's done, we'll find out.
It's not road yard, it's Rich. We just have to sit down with Rich, go through and look at all the different funding sources and balance the capital program. In essence, and this is the appropriate time to do that before we do the projects, which really, the last few projects, you know, that are,
We've done well on the roads, correct?
Pretty good, yeah.
we did very good on the roads, we've done very good on all the other projects, so hopefully this is very close to a balance, I hope, and we can move forward and award those two in 2 weeks. If we do award them in 2 weeks, it is perfect timing, because they can get the deals done and construction completed, so that way you have the fall planting, and also then you have the whole winter for everything to settle up. Obviously, when you have to install new topsoil, you really need some time before you get on there. Otherwise, you know, it'll be torn up in a week with all the feet and all the kit. Thank you.
Excuse me, before we go out of reports, Mr. Belsordo here from the Civic Association. Bobby, you have anything to say about the Civic? How it's going on?
Just to announce, as you said, that the parade is on, we're hoping, we have a lot of floats this year. And we hope that everybody turns out. Before that, and immediately after the parade, we're pleased to advise that the general public is invited back to RunnemedeBorough7, where we have our almost now traditional block party. After that, there'll be space painters, the balloon girl, they're making balloons, they're going to have hot dogs and soft drinks and whatnot. So it's kind of like, just don't go home after the parade, but come on out and enjoy yourself afterwards. The VFW has been tremendous with us in helping us, and the only thing I just want to say is concerning the backup on the parade, how many compliments we got for the road department did such a great job in cleaning up the Black Horse Pike before the parade as well as after the parade. When you hear the citizens come forward and say, gee, it looks so nice for that, and particularly the veterans, I think somebody should be recognized for it. But we're in good shape. We appreciate the support that people gave for the book itself, because it gave us the opportunity to do a little bit extra this year. You know, we have, I believe, 8 bands. They're going to be there this year. I got the final line in March, so tomorrow morning we expect to go with it. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. I want to thank Mayor and Council, for your support, both individually and collectively, for helping us out this year, and hope we can continue with that through this holiday. Thank you.
I want to thank Ed White and Nick for working so well in the Veterans Parade. And I had a lot of nice compliments about the COVID and all the time he's put in. And it was appreciative. The public really did appreciate it. And I want to thank you because it made it very easy for me. Because everybody thanked me and I had to do it then. So it was very nice. Do we have any old business, Joyce?
I know.
Well, that's good. New business.
Resolution 12-81 is a resolution releasing a performance bond in the amount of $204,635. This is the Toyota performance bond. They've submitted their maintenance bond that was reviewed by Jack Kennedy, And he said it's okay, all their escrow is up to date.
Okay.
Move to adopt the resolution 1281.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 12-83 is a resolution authorizing the transfer of a premium from the tax collector's redemption account to the general fund. This is only the 4th time a lien is purchased through premium. This is $7,700 that 5 years ago a lien was purchased, and they gave us that money in order to purchase the lien. And if it's not redeemed within 5 years, we get to keep the money. So we get $7,700. What do you do with it, Rich? Is it murder?
Yes.
It's murder. But this is only the 4th time since I've been collected that we've ever had one go 5 years. Most of them foreclosed or tried to foreclose, so that the person, I don't know why they did.
What's the deal with the property?
Move for the adoption.
I don't know.
I'll take it, I'll second it.
Can I have a roll call?
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 12-84 is a resolution supporting participation in the Sustainable Jersey Grant funded by PSE&G.
Move for the adoption.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. This is adopted. Resolution.
Resolution 12-85 is a resolution authorizing property maintenance claims on various properties.
Move for the adoption.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 12-86 is a resolution authorizing the Borough of Runnymede to enter into an agreement with the State of New Jersey Division of Motor Vehicles beginning July 1st, 2012. This is the annual motor vehicle agreement with the police to work there, and it's no different than last year.
I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Roll call?
Excuse me, so it's the exact same amount?
Exact same amount of money, we pulled it out the other day, which I'm not.
Same, yes.
Same hours,
term.
same, everything is the same.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
This
5 ayes, 1 absent.
This resolution is now adopted.
First reading, ordinance 1206 is an ordinance amending an ordinance regulating livestock. Len just brought it here tonight, which I just had here, and I don't know what I did with it. It actually just puts chickens and roosters in with what we already have.
Right, it adds chicken to roosters, it deletes the grandfathering clause, and it makes consistent the penalty provisions to be consistent with everything else. That's the 3 things that are in the ordinance.
Should it be all types of fowl, do we have to worry about the turkeys?
I don't know.
I move for adoption.
I'll second. I'll second.
1206, the first reading advertising for the law of the public hearing to be held August 7th, and a meeting to begin at 5:30.
I'll second.
Can we have a roll call on this?
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
This ordinance is approved on first reading.
Now we have ordinance 1207, it's an ordinance amending the parking ordinance that deals with West and Second Avenue.
Move for adoption of first reading advertising for the law of the public hearing to be held on August 7th, and a meeting to begin at 5:30.
Second.
Although,
No.
roll call.
Mrs. Passier?
I'll make it.
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Kapadas?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
I move this ordinance be adopted.
Resolution ordinance 12-08 is a resolution that will amend the permit parking ordinance for the area of Harding and Schubert? Is that what it was?
Harding and Stewart.
I guess, is there a measurement there, or however it's gonna be done? I don't know. To make that current part.
It's 231 Stewart Avenue.
Clearly defined it.
I think it's 231. Creighton High School is 250. I think it's 231 Stewart.
Then it goes around on the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make that current part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move for the adoption of the 1207 on first reading of title law and public hearing to be held August 7th. The meeting begins 5:30. 1208, excuse me.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
And Mr. Bates?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
I move this ordinance is now adopted. Any more, George? No? Okay, good. Payment of bills?
I'd like to move for payment of bills along with all contractual bills made from due.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passier?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
And Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
Payment of bills have been approved. Good and welfare. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. If you have anything you'd like to say, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Gene Smith, 876 Orchard. Might as well come up here with the miraculous disappearance of John Schmidt. So I want to know, are we baiting the rats, or we're not baiting the rats? Or what's going on in the storm sewers?
Okay, I'll answer that.
That's kind of unclear.
Okay. Like I said at the last meeting, I contacted, there's a source. Okay, rats they're coming from the source. So I called the neighboring town, which was Belmont, and I asked if they had a similar problem. They said yes, they did. They suggested that what they did was get their exterminator, who was very familiar with exterminating other towns, and they gave me his name and I gave it to Rich. With the finance department, they made a suggestion that for $125 that we would get this technician to come out from the same exterminator that Belmar used, and he would walk the area and see if he can find the source where it was. Keith Knight and I walked with him for 2 hours yesterday. We went to every property. We did all the streets where they saw the rats. Orchard, Payne, Crescent, Rambler, Smith Lane, First Avenue, 3rd Avenue. We did all that area. We went on Hirsch because someone saw one on Hirsch. So he is going to write up a report. He believes, he's supposed to get in touch with John Dunn because he feels that they are in the sewer, but he needs to see a map of the sewer.
By sewer, you mean stormwater?
He's calling it the sewer pipes.
It would be the storm system.
Okay, that's what he called it. And then he went to the grades and he showed us exactly how he baits them. They are way above the water line.
How do you determine that?
What's that?
You're above the water line in the storm sewer.
He gets down in there and he hangs these cakes from the,
How about when it rains and the water rises? I mean, are you comfortable introducing poison into Big Timber Creek, Delaware River? It's warfarin. It's a blood thinner. There's fish, there's turtles, there's waterfowl, there's muskrats. Anything can get a hold of it. Even a kid can get a hold of it.
I understand that. I told him my feelings on all of that because you know how I feel about wildlife and waterfowl and the water system. And he said there's no way it does not go into the water system. So, I mean, we have to,
It has to.
Well, we're not doing anything, right?
No, we're not doing anything.
Report.
We're not doing anything.
So we'll see at that point, make a decision, because I think at some point.
Because I'll be the first one to call it least bid.
Well, he actually said that these cakes are DEP approved. So,
Can I interject for here? I'm speaking to as Tony Beatrice, and I believe that John Dunn agrees with me. I'm not interested, or I don't think we should put anything in the water, near the water, et cetera. I'm not so sure that we would have to get further information as to what he's using, and if it is environmentally safe. If it isn't, then my vote would be not to do that.
and so is mine.
So I don't know, I agree with Nick, until we get the report, but I don't know of anything, that you can put down to kill a rat that isn't going to affect something somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know if they made that thing yet.
And it all.
But
you know,
I
there's
can
cost and effect.
tell you this, I think the aim of what council wants to do, is council wants to identify the areas of where the problem is. We don't want to go on anybody's property. We don't want to bait anybody's property. What I think is going to happen, it's going to take votes from everybody to say this, but I'll give you my opinion now. When a property owner has a problem, okay, on this property with rats, there's usually a reason for that. It's either your property or the adjoining property or something. That situation has to be corrected by the property owner.
And how is that situation corrected?
I don't know, you call them exterminator and they take care of it.
The same situation, they use
Well,
rat poison.
I believe that
If the homeowner wants to do that, that's fine. I'm not gonna put poison on somebody's property, and then something happened, then we're gonna be in the sewer.
And if I may, Tony,
I think we ought to just cool down a little bit, wait for the reports, and tread softly.
the borough's main policy on this is education to the residents and enforcement through code enforcement between our office and the county. And unless there was a specific reason, we wouldn't even consider baiting, because it also draws rats when you bait. So there was a specific reason that it was required in Belmar. If we had that situation, we would have to consider it. But we're not going to do it. It's just part of our efforts to control it.
And I will tell you this, if we're trying to come up with something that we could educate the people, our residents, with this when we send out the tax bill in August. So alleviate some of the questions that they have, that's about it. But in my mind, I don't know if anything is safe.
No,
They'll have to show me that.
there's really nothing safe to throw into the water.
I'm going to wait for this report.
Everything ends up there. Prescription drugs, everything gets run through the sewer system. It all ends up in the Delaware River. So, if you're gonna put something in, it's gonna end up in Big Timber Creek. And if any culvert, anything, everything ends up in Big Timber Creek or Beaver Creek in Runnymede. So, if you're putting warfarin or whatever you're using for rat bait, it's gonna end up in there. You can kill muskrats, you can kill snapping turtles. And you can't do that. You can't do it. So you're gonna have to find another way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, when we did all those stormwater ordinances a few years back, weren't we not allowed to even feed the birds? I mean, isn't there like a ton of things we're not allowed to do that would end up in the water system? Wash trucks, wash.
Grass clipping.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'd like to wait and see what the report is and what they're talking about, and if they do have DEP approval, I'd like to wait and see. Because I don't want to challenge what the exterminating professional indicated that they had that approval as was indicated. Just wait and see what the report is, but if they don't have that, we cannot introduce anything into the storm sewer or into the sanitary sewer, because then you'd be violating the CCNUA rules, and it would go right there. So as soon as the report is, if you show it, maybe have a look at it against the ordinances.
Thank you, Steve.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
It does seem to wish, any other wishes to speak, make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Mayor, move the adjournment.